Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Talking Dead. This is episode number 52 for someday in July. No, 29th of August. Close. Not even close. 29th of August, 2011. Thanks for coming back, everybody listening. It's going to be a good show. You think so? We have lots to talk about. We've got, you're very optimistic. Well, I tend to be that way. I like to be optimistic. We've got our actor spotlight on Laura Holden. We've got all Walking Dead. Walking Dead, yeah. We have all the Walking Dead news of the week before that. We also have a quick recap of Fan Expo Canada that took place in Toronto this past weekend.
All right.
So why don't we get right into a recap? You weren't there.
I couldn't go.
No, unfortunately, you couldn't go. Your life is too damn busy.
It really is.
You gotta make time.
I know, but work demands that I make time for them too.
I suppose. All weekend?
Well, I had to break my cardinal rule. My cardinal rule of working is only work 9 to 5 once per day. And on Friday I broke that rule. I worked from 9 to 5 and I took a break and I started working at 9 and thinking, hey, this is gonna be great. Just work a couple hours and then I'll watch TV and go to bed. And lo and behold, 5 o'clock in the morning I'm still working. So I decided to go to bed. I was actually on a conference call at 5 o'clock in the morning with like 5 other people and we're like, we should probably get some sleep before we try and fix this.
Well, were they in Japan or something?
No, they're here. It just took a long time.
Well, you have 5 people all working at 5 o'clock in the
At least
morning?
5. There's probably more than that, but only 5 people on a particular call.
That's not
They
good.
all sounded very tired.
That is not good.
No, it was good. Anyway, as it turns out, that kind of thing got in the way of going to Fan Expo, which is kind of sad.
Well, Fan Expo is, according to Dave, our friend of the podcast and frequent contributor, he's told me that this is the third largest expo of its kind in the world. I would imagine behind San Diego Comic Con and New York Comic Con. I'm not really sure. But he said it's the third largest, and it is pretty damn big. I will say that.
It was fun when we went there last time. It was a great time.
Well, that was 2 years ago.
It was 2 long ago.
Last year, the Fan Expo people dropped the ball and did not book a big enough section of the conference center here in Toronto. So a lot of people were turned away, including myself. Right. And I was not very happy about that. But I decided to go back this year because they ensured everyone that they had got their act together, got a big enough space, and would sell regular tickets, not too many, anything like that, and everyone could get in. And in fact,
Was it bigger than 2 years ago? The space?
no, the space was the same as 2 years ago. Apparently, I believe, and someone correct me if I'm wrong. Last year they changed the space and it was a little bit smaller.
Oh.
So where was this year was the same as 2 years ago, which now they might even be using a bigger section of it. In fact, I think they were. Because you remember when we were there, one end of it was the food court.
Yeah, there was unused space over there.
That's not food court this time. The food courts were sort of backing around the corner of it, which means nothing to anyone I know. But that whole floor was now gone.
Oh, good.
So it probably was the biggest space they've had in a while, and it was really good. It was a lot better. My experience was a lot better than 2 years ago.
Oh, good.
Which I'm very, very happy about. So as you all know, Dave had his little booth there for Stranger, which was fun. So we got to hang out at his booth. I think it was a successful 4 days for him.
Yeah.
He had a really, really good location right by the entrance. So the first thing people saw when they walked in is the big Stranger banner.
Wow.
And he had the only kind of table banner right there by the entrance, and definitely the nicest looking one.
Oh, good.
So he also had a very popular booth right beside him, so it sort of drew a lot of people right to him. I don't know, he'd probably come on and tell us how sales were and stuff. I don't think he sold a ton, but you know what? He only had 1 issue. It's his first time, and I think I'm going to
out there. Even if you don't make sales.
And I think I'm going to
Out there. Even if you don't make sales, I mean, you get in front of eyeballs. That's always a good thing.
exactly. Some people bought it, but a lot of people saw it. He gave some away, things like that. So I think if I speak for him, I think it was a success.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's nice to have somebody that's popular beside you. The last thing you want to do is slapping booth or something like that. People just don't want to slap, so they just go
or a dunk tank. I mean, people do like that. They also water spray on your crap. And,
yeah, that would be bad too. Or one of those places that sells super soakers. All you do is super soak all your comic books.
Super, they didn't want that. So he had a good time. I got to hang out with him for a while. That was fun. People did see the big Talking Dead ad on the back of the Stranger Comics, so that benefits us.
Did he man booth while he went for a slice?
Well, he had his wife there most of the time, so I didn't have to. I did man the booth for about 2 minutes while the two of them walked away to see something. Nobody came over during that 2 minute period. I didn't.
The guy here, you'll be right back.
I was there with Grace's wife for a while, and while they went to get coffee, and that took like 20 minutes. So at one point, I did talk to somebody then about told them all about it. And as I was finishing, Dave walked up, and here's the man himself, the famous artist.
All right.
It was kind of cool. So that was a lot of fun. Congrats to Dave for getting there and doing his thing. I don't know if he's gonna be back next year, but I hope so.
Yeah, good.
But there was lots of other cool stuff going on too. So I was there primarily, as you might guess, to try and see what I could see what kind of Walking Dead presence was there. 2 years ago there was nothing.
Why would you?
I'm not even, to be honest, I don't remember 2 years ago if there was an Image Comics booth, which you think there would be, but it doesn't stand out in my mind, so I don't know. But there certainly was an Image presence this year. They had their own like a big, quadruple size booth, huge banners of Walking Dead and Invincible and other stuff, and they were basically selling all of their Walking Dead merchandise stuff. So all the trades, all the hardcovers, the compendium. I think they had the third omnibus release there.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to have all 3 omnibuy.
Omnibuses.
Right, but that first one was like $500, $600.
Yeah.
So
Just like the books.
I know. It's I'm complete.
When's the next book coming out?
I'm not sure. 6 or 7.
6 is out. I have 6.
Okay, I'm not sure. Sometime after the next 12 issues, I guess.
Eventually.
But so I hung around the Image booth for a while and chatted with those guys a bit. I bought some stuff there, some stuff for myself and some stuff to give away on this very year show at some point. And I let the guy there know about what we do, and he seemed to think it was pretty cool. So I hope you check it out. Image Comics booth guy, if you're listening, send us an email talking to podcast@gmail.com to hear from you. And thanks for helping me out at the table there. It was very cool. More Walking Dead. They also had Tony Moore, the original artist in The Walking Dead, was at the con.
Yeah.
He had a table where he was selling a lot of his stuff. The first trade paperback, because that's all he did. Plus a lot of prints from pages and stuff from the comics. So it was pretty cool to see him and just watch him work for a minute. He was just kind of sitting there like drawing stuff and like that. You could hire him on the spot to do a commission if you wanted. He'd like come back. I don't know if it was the next day or later that day. He'd be done for
Why would you do that?
It was like $300. So it would be cool, definitely cool. But I didn't have that kind of money hanging around.
Yeah. Instead of Rick Grimes throwing that punch in the one of the posters you got, one of the prints you got, just substitute him for my face.
Yeah, there you go. You throwing a blank punch.
Here's Rick Grimes throwing a blank punch. Here's me doing the same thing.
So it's kind of fun to see him. I didn't line up for one of his autographs, but I did buy some of the autograph prints of his work. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That was fun. He was there all week. He was very friendly. And then the last thing was Anchor Bay, the company that releases the DVD, had a presence there, and they were promoting some of their releases, including Walking Dead. And they brought Chandler Riggs in.
They did.
Yeah, Michael Rooker was originally scheduled. He canceled at the last minute, and somehow Chandler Riggs came in. I wasn't really sure if I was going to get a chance to meet Chandler or even see him because he was at late and there was no information about him in the official program. Right? So I didn't know when or where he was going to be. And you think the website would be updated, but I couldn't really find it.
They're too busy getting ready for the con.
Obviously too busy. So I just kind of got lucky though because I was hanging out with Dave, and the Anchor Bay booth was within eye distance of it, maybe 30 meters away, not even that, 20 meters away. And I just happened to look over, and there was a big crowd in the line. So I thought, I gotta see what's going on over there. And just as I got there, Chandler and 3 other actors from other Anchor Bay stuff came out and were sitting at the table to do some autograph signings.
Nice.
And unlike most of the celebrity signings there, they were free.
Oh, wow.
So it was even better. And the difference was they were doing it at the booth instead of a scheduled like celebrity appearance.
Right.
So I got in the lineup, which didn't take long, about 10 minutes, and I got Chandler and I got him to autograph my Walking Dead poster. And I shook his hand and say, "Great job," and go on my merry way. So that was kind of fun. He's a very friendly, well-spoken little dude.
Does he look older than he did in the show?
I think he looks younger in real life.
Really?
Which is strange. He looks younger now than he did on the show last year.
Maybe he is. I don't know why.
It bodes well for him not aging too
He's
fast.
time travel for some reason.
Maybe. It's probably likely. Yeah, really good. But yeah, that was really fun. I would have really liked to have had a chance to chat with him for a while, or if somehow I was there with press credentials, get 5 minutes with him, ask him a few questions, but just couldn't do that in a situation we're in. Right? They were wanting people to keep moving, so the next person to get through. But shook his hand and got his autograph.
Good work.
He has very small, delicate, soft hands, like your average Chandler, I guess. Nice. That's all I can say about that. So yeah, Fan Expo was really cool. It was really fun this year, and I'm really glad I went. And I'm excited for next year.
Me too. I'm gonna go next year.
You got it.
I'm excited every year.
I went
Next year I'm gonna go for sure.
I went Friday night for 3 hours or so, and I went most of the day on Saturday, and never got bored. Like never felt like okay, I've seen everything I know.
You spend lots of money.
Well, I did. I spent $200 probably all told. That doesn't include like $10 plus pizza and a couple times and stuff like that.
You should bring your own pizza.
I suppose I could do that. I could try anyway. I could at least
It's gonna be hot.
bring a sandwich.
Where's the fun in that? Where's the pizza?
They were selling. I bought the pizza, which is one of the sponsors of the thing. Right. There was a hot dog booth there. A couple of them. They were selling like little regular boring size hot dogs for something like $4.75.
Wow.
Yeah, a can of Coke was $3.25 from the hot dog place. Like that's insane.
That's
At least the pizza combo was $8 for a little slice and a drink.
Did you just get the hot dog? Did you get your bun steamed?
I don't know. I didn't pay for the hot dog.
I like hot dogs, but like a nice steamed bun.
I love hot dogs. I agree with that. But I wasn't gonna pay that money to find out.
Well, I'm not gonna pay for that kind of money for some stupid regular bun or toasted bun. Good lord. I want a nice steamed bun.
Soft steamed bun.
Yeah, a little bit much of that stuff. I get that on my own.
Why not really? So Fan Expo was great, like I said, and I'm glad there was a Walking Dead presence there this year, unlike 2 years ago. We missed last year, so I have no idea what they were doing, but I think Dave did get in last year. He had a booth we went just as a regular holder, and if I remember correctly, he said there was almost nothing there last year for it too. So let's hope that next year here, it'll be just before season 3, and they'll be doing a big promotional push, and there'll be all kinds of great stuff. Like
we'll get press credentials.
Andrew Lincoln will be there, and Robert Kirkman, and Frank Darabont. No, wait, somebody else.
Who?
Yeah. So anyways, it was a lot of fun, and I want to throw one thing out there. If there's anybody, I told Dave I do this. If there's anybody out there who heard about this podcast or a stranger or anything like that from the booth, from his comic, send us an email and let us know that you heard about us from Fanatics Toronto. TalkingDeadPodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from anybody who discovered us there, or Dave, of course.
All right, and if you contact us, we'll do a free episode. We'll let you download an episode
Completely free. What a deal!
Yeah.
What a deal! Okay, let's get into this week's Walking Dead news.
All right,
shall we? So we have one more. First item here is one more follow up on the firing of Frank Darabont, which we covered ad nauseum last week.
I love that phrase. And I take Latin for until it makes you sick.
Yeah, which is the first time
Awesome.
Stephen Yeun is the first and only cast member to speak out of the firing of Darabont. This was reported by Digital Spy, at least that's where I read it. And he says, we still, as a cast, show up to work every day and absolutely kill it. No pun intended, I guess.
They killed them. Kill them.
He says, we have our hearts on the ground on a set on every single take. So he's just trying to say that, don't worry, we're still into it. You know, it was probably a little upsetting, but everything's fine now, and we're proceeding as normal.
Hearts on the ground. Ready to be stomped on? I don't understand the phrase.
Well, I don't know. I think he just means they're giving their all.
Oh, good.
They're leaving
I'd like to hear
that. Yeah. He also said there are professionals working on our show. People have seen the first couple of episodes of season 2 and walk away saying this is the best television show on TV.
Sweet.
As opposed to the best television show
On television.
on anywhere else.
I'll let myself introduce.
This is the best television show in magazines. So
That'd be weird, eh?
yeah. So he kind of has to say these sort of things. You know, I've grown accustomed to this kind of statement whereby everyone says, yeah, everyone's so great to work with, and everything's this is the best thing I've ever done, and so on and so on. I'm so lucky to be here. We get used to that at things like Comic-Con and Fan Expo and so on. So you know, you gotta take this with a grain of salt, but no one else said anything from the
If you're
actors.
going to say something, you're going to speak up. This is the way to do it. You're going to say, well, you know, Frank left and we were really kind of mad about it and we were considering completely walking off set.
Yeah, we're pissed and AMC screwing us.
We yelled and screamed and, you know, record trailers and stuff, but they didn't listen. And, you know, we got contracts and we're still getting paid, so we got to show up.
When they're done, then we're all like,
Yeah, and, you know, we left our hearts on the ground. But yeah, we're still there.
you should definitely not be a publicity statement writer.
Oh, yeah, I should never speak out on anything because I'll say it like it might be.
Good thing about a podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
So there you go. Nobody else has said anything, and I think this sort of Darabont thing is probably going to more or less be put to bed now. I don't imagine too much more news is going to come out. I've heard that Darabont already shopping another show around to people, so networks. So
We start a podcast.
that's good. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But I think he has washed his hands of The Walking Dead, and it's now in the hands of Greg Mazzara. And we'll see.
Yeah, hopes.
The second item in the news this week is a dispatch from set with David Boyd, cinematographer and new director of the show. It didn't say in so many words in the article which episode he's directing, but he did talk about episode 207. So I'm going to go with that as the one.
Why not?
I suppose I could check this on the IMDb, but I'm not sure if they have the director's list yet. So either way, he was talking about 207. He said, it's cool, NBC Andrea, this girl can shoot, man. And then Lori, she's kept her shit together through Rick and wounded and all that stuff. But she's starting to come apart a little bit, and by the end of the episode, she and Rick put it all out there. As functional as you can be in the apocalypse, these two are going to be equals. So it sounds like, the reason I pulled that quote is that it sounds like it's going to take 7 episodes before everything comes to a head.
Yeah.
Everything love triangle related comes to a head.
I think
Well, I mean, I guess they don't, isn't necessarily referring to that, but I mean, Lori and Rick are going to have their issues.
Well, who wouldn't really? It's really quite a stressful situation, you know, being in the middle of the zombie apocalypse.
By then we're going to know what gender was, I think, because they said we're going to find that relatively early.
Right.
So, but I 7 episodes, that's sort of right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's going to be a mid-season, cliffhanger, if they do something like that.
Yeah, that would be right around Christmas break. I think that would be perfect.
Probably. So
Somewhere around sweeps.
I think episode 207 is going to be a big one.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going down.
I think so.
Now David Boyd also used to work on Friday Night Lights, which is a coincidence because I'm currently watching Friday Night Lights.
Right. I've seen the series.
Recently. I just finished season 3, and they asked him about how his work on that show influenced him because they referenced a scene in Walking Dead that takes place on a football field. Like to do anything to do
Oh,
with
right, football zombies. That's perfect.
He says the stuff that came out of Friday Night Lights to me was we didn't rehearse on that show, and we didn't put marks down, and actors knew that they could go anywhere and play. And that aspect of it I think is really valuable for performances. From a camera standpoint, I try to make sure everybody on The Walking Dead knows that they can play. They can turn it on and let's see what happens. And we'll make sure nobody falls. We'll catch them.
Right.
So
Did you know that about Friday Night Lights?
I did. I heard it before, but I didn't really think about that when I was reading this article until they mentioned it.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights, yeah, it's very documentary style. They just let the actors do what they want.
Yeah, they had the 3 cameras on all the time, and they just kind of let the actors go where they wanted. They didn't rehearse, and they go off script a little bit, but they're still expected to get out what they were supposed to get out, but they can do pretty much whatever they want. And it's nice to hear that they're doing this in The Walking Dead too, because I think it's very important for genuine performances. So it doesn't seem so stiff.
Especially in this kind of show, like they're reacting to the situations that they're put in, right? Or at least that's what's asked of the actors in this kind of show. And I think if they're actually doing that, it's even better. But it's interesting. I guess it comes down to how the directors work and so on. And some directors might not be as into this style as others, but it does. I do like the idea that this is what they're doing. It's kind of like, okay, you're in a zombie apocalypse. This is what's going on. The zombies over there. You have a flat tire, and now go. Yeah, and see what happens.
Oh no, I got a flat tire. What am I going to do? I can't call CA or nothing. That's right. And this is why I'm not on such a show.
Wow. So anyways, that's pretty cool. David Boyd, cinematographer turned director. You can find that dispatch from the set on the MCTV Walking Dead blog. So, On Location Vacations is a site that lists filming locations for TV shows and movies.
Alright.
And they posted a link to the fact that Walking Dead was filming at Hutchison subdivision off Rockaway Road in Sonoya, Georgia.
Sweet.
And I went looking for that, and I found more information at citizennews.com, which is a local newspaper down there. But the reason I pulled this out is that The Walking Dead is filming at a subdivision off Rockaway Road.
Wow.
So something that we didn't really think was going to make it into the TV show sounds like it might be making it into the TV show.
Yeah.
Now, off the top of your head, can you remember what the name of the
Woodbury?
No, Woodbury's where the government
Oh,
is.
then no.
Yeah, I can remember it here. So if you can
Harwood Estates?
something like that. No. But
Rockaway?
Rockaway's the name of the street. I looked it up on Google Maps, this location, and I don't know if you can see this, but you can see it over
I
there.
can see it. Oh, that's pretty cool.
So this is kind of
Whoa.
So this is
I think it's an audio only podcast.
yeah, exactly. This is the location here that they're filming. It is a single entrance, sort of circular street with no other way in or out. And if you zoom right in, at the entrance here, you can see little gates, like little welcome to wherever you are.
And trees completely surrounded. It looks like it's surrounded by parkland.
Trees completely surrounded, exactly, and it's secluded, and a little bit well, perfect for filming a secluded zombie series. We should move there. No, but we should go there and check it out someday.
Why would you want to move there? It's like a lovely place.
Well, that's not a nice place.
There's gates to keep the zombies out.
Yeah, I guess.
And the riffraff.
So this sounds like a perfect location for the sub-development that our gang gets to for
It does.
one night. So I have a feeling that we are actually going to see that location in the TV show.
That'd be awesome.
I think so too.
Now, if episode 207, if he directed that and he's talking about it in the past, David Boyd, that means that they'll be getting to this after 207. They're probably filming.
No, not necessarily. They film totally out of order, right? Even on TV shows, they don't. What do they say, 8 to 10 days per episode, or 8 days per episode? But they could do a day in episode 3 and another day next day in episode 6. So I don't think there's any.
That'd be hard on the actors, I think.
That's why we pay the big bucks now.
It'd be hard on me.
That's right. Also, one more reason you're not an actor.
Oh no, I don't know what's going on. That's my acting voice.
Yeah,
Apparently.
I can hear it. It's amazing. So there you go. I think they're going there, and it looks like the perfect location. If anybody out there's listening who happens to be in Sonoya, or it's Senoya, Sonoya, Georgia, or near Rockaway Road, let us know. It's called the Hutchison subdivision. There's no Google Street View there, unfortunately. So if anyone's a picture, I'd love to see it.
Seems like a lovely subdivision.
It does, doesn't it? All right.
Well, the roofs are the same color though.
Well, if you look on the where roofs are
No, they started, houses are built in the last 10 years. They started realizing that roof lines and shingles, they like the very nice stuff. Everybody looks like kind of
The same from space?
Yes, sick kind of crazy subdivisions. So they started very nice stuff, but this was built. These subdivisions were built before they decided that was a good idea.
It said in the article that the residents were asked to let their grass grow a bit, not cut it, so that it would be a little more authentic.
Oh, that's good.
So exciting.
It'd be great if your house was on The Walking Dead.
That would be cool. I felt like my house might be in something we watch later. We'll get that in a little bit. So Scott Ian, remember last week we talked about him, the guy from Anthrax, who was going to be a zombie on the show. Well, he provided more information on his zombie experience.
Okay.
Apparently it was at the master plans of special effects artist Garrett Himmel, who according to Ian is one of the top dudes doing this on the planet.
That's his title on business card.
The top dude.
One of the top dudes doing this on the planet.
That's totally right. Apparently, according to Ian, Himmel transformed him into a hero zombie. So hero zombie, I guess, is the featured zombie that we talked about before.
I don't know for heroes.
Like,
Buster like superheroes, like Caven.
No, he's a hero zombie. It means he gets more screen time and he does something prominent, I think.
Right, eat something or somebody.
Yeah, like the hero zombie would be the guy who bit Amy on the arm,
I see.
or the one that Greg Nicotero played that
Ate the deer.
ate the deer. That's right. Who then got his head chopped off.
That's right.
Those are hero zombies.
Okay.
Or Black Suited Zombie coming on Buster. That's a hero zombie. So he's gonna be a hero zombie, and that's exciting. It means he had high level detail, including flesh wounds on his head and neck with silicone happy days.
Exciting. Just for good measure, they the head of the show. Still got that, right?
Yeah, now just turn around for a second. We're going to do something on the back.
All right, don't blink.
Ian says, I told him not to hold back and make it as brutal as possible. Now, apparently, his scene involved, it's hard to say Ian because the first name is his last name. Right. Anyways, his scene involves his zombie alter ego shambling out of the house and going after two kids.
Oh, no.
So,
What are those two kids are?
Well, yeah, but he's probably in one of the Hutchinson subdivision houses.
Yeah, probably.
And he's going after Carl and Sophia. Right. That's what I'm going to say. See, we can piece this whole thing together just by following the news.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So that seems like that subdivision is probably not a great place to hang out for very long.
No, because all the houses are full of Roman zombies.
Anthrax
Anthrax
zombies.
That's right. Metal god zombies.
Well, just anthrax zombies in general is kind of a scary thing to put together. Like nuclear anthrax zombies would be the next step up from there.
What would make them nuclear?
I don't know, dirty bomb, some kind of radiated.
So just radioactive.
Yeah, radioactive anthrax zombies.
So not only will they bite you to death, but they'll make you sterile too.
Yeah, I think careful out. It's just not good. Not only do you not want to get by them or get into a fight with them, you don't want to hang around with them either. Like the English on the dead, you're playing PlayStation. You want to do that with an anthrax or irradiated anthrax zombie.
No, that's true. But at least they would chain up.
That's true.
Okay, our next item in the news. Kirkman inks deal to distribute Walking Dead comic in Asia. Not related to the TV show, but exciting news for Robert Kirkman. He said the next step for Skybound, which is his publication company, and The Walking Dead in particular, is the evolution into a global brand. Please come for us.
I hear that mic all the time. I wasn't
No, I can hear. Probably not on the mics, but if we suddenly go off the air, it's the police show.
No, somebody did the sirens and the flashing light things just drove right by your house.
No good. They're gone. Did you drive yours today?
I did not. I'm not going to drive here again.
Good, because last time your car got destroyed.
Well, I didn't get destroyed, but somebody hit a car with parked in front of my car, and it hit my car. My car was moved by like 3 or 4 feet, and the hood got buckled. And I was just complaining about how much traffic there is around here and how many parked cars and how dangerous it is.
Well, hopefully it's not another big accident.
I did not drive. I'm not driving here again.
You don't really need to.
Well, no, I live that far, but maybe I'll drive here when I move out there.
Then we need to. Yeah. Okay, that was sidetrack. So what was I saying? Kirkman, next step for Skybound and Walking Dead in particular is the evolution into a global brand. Partnering with Moving Images to form Skybound Asia is the first logical step toward that goal. It will allow us to gain a foothold in emerging markets in order to bring Skybound comics and products to an entirely new fan base.
A lot of people over there.
Oh, there sure are.
They got zombie dollars to spend.
Yes, they do. And you know, Kirkman, good for him. He's gonna make a lot of money selling comics in Asia. Yeah. Right. And if there happen to be any listeners in that part of the world, you can now get The Walking Dead locally, hopefully for less than you would have to pay by importing it from the States. There you go. Apparently Skybound Asia will be based out of Korea.
Okay.
I didn't write that in the notes, but I think that's what's it.
I've been in Seoul. Yeah, I got off plane in Seoul. They reflew it. I got back on plane to go. I looked at the window and saw the whole city from the airport.
Well, technically you were there. There you go. Is that you've done that twice?
Yes, twice. I think it was twice. I think the third time I went to Hong Kong.
All right. So either way, you've been sold. You saw the airport.
I sure did.
Our last item in the news update this week is something we haven't done in a long time. Before season 1, every week we do a Walking Dead casting update according to the IMDb. We haven't done that in a long time because, well, it shows not the air. It hasn't been any new casting. But now I thought I'd go back and check, and there are 2 new actors listed for certain episodes in season 2.
Oh, excellent.
James Allen McCune as Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy.
Looks like Jimmy in season 2, episode 3.
Sounds like Jimmy Olsen too. Jimmy.
You think so? Yeah. So we already have Jim, who we know what happened to Jim, and now we have Jimmy.
He's much more Jimmy.
There's no Jimmy in the comic, is there? I looked him up. There's no Jimmy.
There's pictures on IMDb. And he's got, obviously his headshots. Right? He's got a headshot of him in a bell shirt and a headshot of him in a bell shirt.
Yeah, with exactly the same hair.
Yeah,
and,
well, he's got one eyebrow raised when he's wearing glasses.
yes, he does. It takes a special talent to do that.
I can't do it. The headshots in general are funny.
Yeah, well, he's got headshots. Apparently he's an American-born actor born in Atlanta, Georgia. Go figure. To Charlotte Warren McCune in 1990. So he's not old.
Wow.
I know. God.
1990.
Yeah.
I remember 1990. He was in high school.
Yes, 1990. That's not that long ago. Nope. Makes me feel old. He's only ever been in 2 things. One of which is The Walking Dead. He's listed in season 2, episode 6. I mean, episodes 3, 5, 6, and 7. So, you know, Jimmy, who knows what this means? It could be nothing. He could be playing a zombie, and you know, he's added himself to the IMDb as Jimmy. I don't know. But we like to mention him because he may be on the show, and hopefully he has a long and prosperous career ahead of him in playing zombies on TV.
I think they make perfect Jimmy. He's not a zombie. He's named Jimmy.
Well, this is what I'm saying. We have no idea. He probably, if that's an actual character, no, he's probably not a zombie. But that might not be his actual character.
He's on the farm. I bet.
Yeah, he could be on the farm.
Where's Jimmy?
No, I looked it up. But Herschel does have other children, right? He had a couple of sons and at least 1 daughter. 2 daughters, yeah. And so,
neighbor's daughters.
that's right. So there's more people around, and maybe
Jimmy might be in the farm by the end of the thing.
Well, I looked at the characters, and there was no Jimmy, so maybe they named something. I don't know. We'll see. We also have Andrei Batichko as Hustla in season 2, episode 8. H-U-S-T-L-A. Hustla. He's the only actor listed for season 2, episode 8. Andrew Lincoln,
Oh, him and his.
none of them are there yet.
That's it.
So
Hustla.
yeah, Andrei Batienko. He was born August 6, 1985. At least he's a little bit older. In Tallinn, Estonia.
Oh.
And Gated Free, his family moved to Moscow, Russia. And he went to high school in Moscow and specialized in English arts. So
good.
he's playing Hustla. I don't know what that means. Is that a form of the word hustler?
I don't know.
So who knows?
He played a hijacker in Killing.
I saw that. Yeah,
I
episode
remember
212.
I remember 212.
Yeah, so that's why you don't remember it. It hasn't on you.
See, I looked at that and my brain just went, well, of course, it's 112.
Andrei
Okay.
Batichko, hijacker, uncredited in the Killing.
Well, which Killing is this? I mean, it's based off of a Norwegian show, I believe, right?
It links to the American
It
one.
does link to the American one. 212. You think they're filmed that far ahead already?
No, but they cast people, right? Now, is it not curious that he's listed himself in The Killing, or he's listed in The Killing and The Walking Dead, 2 AMC shows?
Yep. That's all justified.
Yeah,
That's top.
yes, that's true. And a couple of Russian things, it looks like.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Hustla.
That's right. I think it'll be hilarious if a character named Hustler shows up. But that is our IMDb.com Walking Dead cast update for this week.
Wow, that's awful.
And it wraps up our news segment.
Okay.
If you have any comments or questions about the news you've heard in today's podcast, please contact us at talkingdeadpodcast@gmail.com or on the Zon line, 1-866-483-9662. It's full free call, everybody. No excuse. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's time for our Walking Dead Actor Spotlight on Lori Holden.
It all began without warning. On the strange this morning, the skies turned red. The vibrations went dead. With these terrible songs on a rainy day, the pressure just started to fall. You see, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything at all. Is the music on?
For you, the listeners of Talking Dead Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Jason, what is your recommendation for the fine people this week?
You know, I'm going to go with Stephen King, Under the Dome.
Ooh, this is your second Stephen King in a row.
Yeah, second Stephen King, Under the Dome. Basically, a small town in Maine is suddenly sealed off by an invisible force field. It's completely cut off from the outside world, and nothing gets in, nothing gets out.
Completely out of the blue. Like,
Completely out of the blue in the middle of the next day. It just, that's it, force field, can't get out
and
anymore.
people find this out because one day somebody's watching it or something.
Well, yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that happen where trucks smash into it, cut in half, or people get killed, or smacking into it, playing smacks into it.
If you touch it, do you die?
No, just anything you smack onto it, eventually just kind of slides down slowly, and then it's around. There's stuff in there, I don't know why. Trying to figure all this stuff out, and then everybody's burning all the fires and that kind of stuff, and so all kinds of noxious gases build up inside this dome because it can't vent. There's no air exchange with the outside world.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, no. So it was you know, usually this kind of thing on Stephen King. Stephen King writes 2 different styles, and this kind of style, like Tommy Knocker's You'll Never Be Fan, but this I actually really enjoyed. And I think I've been to listen to it. It's great. And it comes in a wide 34 hours and 29 minutes.
If you want to check out Under the Dome or any other book on audible.com, go over to audibletrial.com/talkingdead. Again, that's audibletrial.com/talkingdead for your free audiobook. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Now it's time for our Walking Dead Actor Spotlight on Lori Holden.
All right.
So she's the last, I think, of the major prominent characters for us to spotlight.
Yeah, I'm going to do minor prominent characters.
Minor prominent characters. We'll get to that who's next at the end. Now, I'd like to say something here off the top.
Okay.
And that is, I think we chose poorly.
What do you mean
we
poorly?
chose Lori. We chose to watch her back catalog rather poorly.
You think so?
I do, and then we'll find out
I don't know
why.
why you say that.
We'll find out why we get into
Only half
it.
facetious.
So we chose 2 episodes of the X-Files, 2 episodes of the Magnificent 7 TV show from the 90s, and a movie called Bailey's Billions.
Yep.
So let's do the X-Files first. The first episode we chose was season 4, episode 1 called Herrenvolk, starring, of course, David Duchovny, Gillian Anderson, and Lori Holden as Marita Gorav. Oh man, I can't read this. Govarabias. This episode, Mulder is intent on saving Jeremiah Smith from the alien bounty hunter for no other reason than he hopes Smith could save his mother, who has suffered a severe stroke.
Uh-huh.
So here's my experience watching this episode.
You like these?
I love these.
They're these.
I turn it on. It has the pre-credits intro with the guy on the telephone pole in Alberta, and he gets stung by a bee, falls off, and sees all blonde haired little boys.
The worst safety equipment on the planet. It's also stop you from falling if you lose consciousness.
Well, yeah, exactly.
He just snapped and he fell to the ground dead.
Well, he didn't die. He died, but not from hitting the
I
ground.
know, but it's safety equipment could have been a higher quality, in my opinion.
True. So we do that. We get opening credits, and then we come back into a scene that was obviously already in progress and completely unrelated to the opening, and I didn't know what was going on because I couldn't remember from watching this the first time.
Yeah, very confusing.
So my first thought was,
What the hell's going on?
what the hell's going on? Something must be wrong because I thought maybe I don't know.
This was the premiere, right? This is the premiere?
Yes.
Okay,
And
yeah,
this was encoded from your DVDs, right? And I watched it on LTV. And I know you had the encoding problem. I thought maybe the chapters got over or something like that.
Nope.
So what did I do? I stopped it. I thought I'm gonna go back to the last episode of season 3, watch it, and see if it makes sense. And it did. Yeah. So I went back and watched that one, completely remembered it, and then went back and watched Harrenhal season 4 episode 1, and it made more sense.
Actually,
So Lori Holden was not in this episode until the very last minute. This was her first appearance in the X-Files. She had a short conversation with Fox Mulder at the very end, and then the episode was done. So she wasn't there very much, but she did a great job.
I thought she did well.
I think this character who we're going to call Maria C from now on,
Sure.
I think she had unusually coiffed hair.
Well, she had quite the hair. Quite the hairdo.
You think about that?
It was very, very blonde. It was like this bleach blonde thing that didn't quite make any sense to me.
No, that's obviously her hair color.
No, I think there was something about the color. It was colored, and like, I know she's blonde, but this color was like there was something about this blonde color.
It was enhanced for sure.
Yeah.
So so in the last minute, I enjoyed these 2 episodes of the X-Files. So the season 3 one, this one, I enjoyed them a fair bit. They brought back good memories of watching X-Files back when it was on TV. So I did enjoy them quite a bit. Not much to say about Fox Mulder and everyone knows what they were like in the shows. But Lori Holden was okay.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've seen her in something. I watched Magnificent Seven first, and then I watched X-Files afterwards. This is the first time I ever saw her enter a scene as a new character without a gun in her hand. She does that in Magnificent Seven. We'll get there.
That's true.
But yeah, it was nice to see her with a firearm.
And Walking Dead she did as well.
That's right.
That's right. In the X-Files she walks out of a boardroom or something.
She's like the assistant to some kind of she's an aide to somebody or something.
Yeah, it might even be non-FBI.
No, it's not FBI. It's like some kind of ambassador or something like that.
So anyways, with her introduction, she gave Mulder some information and was sort of like, I'll see you later. So then we moved to season 5, episode 14, called The Red and the Black.
Oh, she did a magnificent job in this episode. Anyway, summary is that Mulder and Scully look to retrieve Scully's memories from the incident on the bridge where the mass killings happened. So I went back and watched that episode beforehand, the one before The Red and Black. I went through like on Wikipedia. They have the episodes listed, and they tell you which episodes are Monster Week episodes, which episodes just have to do with alien mythology in general, and which episodes have specifically to do with the alien invasion storyline, the colonization. Yes. So I don't particularly enjoy all the Monster Week stuff. I had been working through the X-Files. I never watched the last 4 or 5 seasons. So I'm working through. So I went through and basically Herrenvolk, and then the next one had to do with the alien colonization was the one before The Red and Black. So I decided, and she was in it as well. So I decided to watch it. Okay, so I knew what led up to her very minor part in this episode.
Well, this is what I was talking about before. She was in this episode, however, and she had 4 or 5 or maybe 6 scenes. However, the entire time, in all of her scenes, she lay unconscious on a hospital table.
Come on, they pried her eyes open, and you could see the ink monster in there doing its thing. I thought she did a fantastic job of having her eye pried open.
They call that the black oil.
Black oil.
Yeah, she had the black oil in her eyes. She didn't move. She didn't speak. She just lay there on that hospital.
Try check.
Oh yeah, try check.
Well,
Well, tell me about the previous one then, because I didn't watch that. I haven't seen it
it was called Patient X, and it had to do with so even people are affected by aliens at these times, and they have the sense of waking up in the middle of the night and having feeling that they need to go someplace they don't know where. So what happens? It happened in Russia, it happened in the States, and then it happened in Scully, where they woke up in the middle of the night, they were called someplace, and all these people that had previously been abducted went to this one location. That was the bridge for Scully, and then they all died for whatever reason, they were burned or what something happened to them, they all were killed. So this happened in Russia, and then she's hanging out with Krychek. She's Russian too, I guess, and she was over there talking Krychek about this thing that happened in Russia, and then blah blah blah. There was one guy, Patient X, from the Russian incident or whatnot, that had an inky oil monster in him, and then she ended up having sex with Krychek in order to distract him while she could steal this guy that had an inky monster in him, and then the inky monster got in her, and then she had her eyes wide open and red black. That was the next thing that happened.
Okay, well, I don't remember very much of that because it's been a long time since I watched the X-Files, but Red and the Black was an okay episode. But Lori Holden didn't do much.
No,
she lay there with the best
Yeah, now we're going to do Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, let's make it.
All right.
Why don't you introduce the first episode of Magnificent Seven?
All right, so Chris Larrabee forms a motley group of men to protect an Indian village from an outlaw gang of ex-Confederate soldiers bent on continuing the Civil War. Some people just won't let the Civil War go.
As everyone knows, the Magnificent Seven TV show is based on the Magnificent Seven movie,
It's based on Seven Samurai,
which is another movie,
Japanese movie.
which is based on a book, I believe. Oh, probably. I don't know that for sure, but Samurai to Cowboys to TV Cowboys.
Oh, Samurai Cowboys have a lot of similarities.
Do they?
Yeah, except for the couple of things.
One uses swords and one uses guns and rides horses.
I don't know. I thought it was similarities. Okay.
Maybe their motivation is similar. Who knows? I can tell you. So, goes to the Confederacy. The first episode was an hour and a half. I didn't realize that long when I chose it, but I watched it in 2 parts. Lori Holden's in the beginning, and that was it.
Yep.
She had a couple scenes at the beginning. She plays the town like journalist or
She
something.
owns the paper, yeah.
So she writes about what's going on and probably sticks her nose where it shouldn't be throughout the series.
In all the what we watched, the 2 episodes that we watched, every scene that she was in that we saw, she either had a newspaper or a shotgun in her hand.
That's what journalists of that day needed.
Well, that's what you needed. Yeah, she entered this episode with a shotgun.
Did she?
Yeah, she walked on into the middle of the street because there was
Oh,
some
yeah,
fight
yeah,
going on.
yeah,
She had a shotgun.
right.
I'm like, don't mess around with her. She knows what she's doing with that shotgun.
But then they push her down and just walk right by.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's only a journalist. So, what do you think of performance in these 2 episodes?
Well, in the second episode, we were just comparing both of them, I guess.
I don't see why not. Really, I forgot even to add summary to the second one. It was season 2, episode 13.
I'm already writing this already.
I just mispaced it. It was called Obsession.
I thought, okay, so in the first episode in Ghost of Confederacy, I thought she was kind of weak. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure this was her bag.
Just this whole.
The accent, I'm not sure. You know, she doesn't have an accent, right? In real life?
I don't know real life.
I don't know, but anyway, she seemed a little flat. Didn't seem like this was her role.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It wasn't amazing. But she wasn't getting a lot to do.
Yeah.
But that's that's neither here nor
Now,
there.
I have a confession to make about Obsession. I saw her at the beginning, and I'm like, okay, they're like way someplace else, and there's no way that she's going to show up here, so she's probably going to be at the end, if at all. So I fast forward all the way to the end until she shows up and back a little bit, and then watch her scene again.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what the context was.
What's the funny thing about that is I didn't do that, but I don't remember anything from the middle.
They're trying to save a whorehouse or a farm or something. I didn't remember it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I kind of remember. There was a good gunfight. And in fact, the first episode had a good gunfight at the end.
And like Cannon too, which is nice.
I did enjoy that. Cannon was cool, yeah. And Red Foreman had his bone breakfast.
Yes, he did.
Red Foreman is the
He's in every
Confederate soldier bent on continuing the Civil War.
He's not really, his name is Red Foreman.
Yeah, that's what everyone knows him from.
I know, but he was, he's done a lot of things. He was on the West Wing.
And by that I mean that 70s show.
Yes. He was on Star Wars or Star Trek, sorry.
Pretty sure he wasn't in Star
No, he
Wars.
wasn't Star Wars. That'd be cool though.
Red Foreman.
Dumbass.
Red Foreman standing by.
That's right.
Red 2 standing by.
Dumbass.
Red 5 standing by. Red Foreman standing by. Anyways, that's ridiculous. So yeah, Lori Holden wasn't fantastic. The show wasn't fantastic. There was nothing great about it. Coincidentally, the main character, Chris Larrabee, was played by Michael Bean, Beihn, and coincidentally I met him at Fan Expo Canada on the weekend, but did not put 2 and 2 together and realized that I was talking to the same guy whose show I had just watched the day before.
He was in Terminator 2.
I know, but I didn't know who he was before this. Ron Perlman I would recognize.
Oh, Ron Perlman, yeah, I didn't quite get. Did you watch Assassin to see Ron Perlman's part in Obsession?
He was playing golf. Oh, that's right. He was
He was
playing
really good at it.
Yeah, he was introducing golf by one of the other guys.
And it's funny because he took a swing and went perfectly straight over and then right on where it was supposed to be aim, and the guy said, "You're hooked." Which is funny because it's a golf term, but he didn't hook anything. No slices. He was hooked. Yeah.
I also remember Ron Perlman from the first Ghost of Confederacy because he was the one guy like the loner living by himself. He didn't want to join it first.
Yep.
But then he decided I guess he has nothing to lose.
And he needed $5.
And he needed $5. Yeah. I guess that's a lot of money back then for a week's work.
I don't know. Apparently not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So yeah, there we go. That was Magnificent Seven.
I guess she was supposed to be the love interest in the show, but she never did. They didn't. Obsession was the last episode.
Well, there was a good like 23, 24 episodes in between. We didn't see. There could have been some of that in there.
But she didn't end up with the main character. He was in love with this the lady that owned the whorehouse or the farm or whatever they were trying to say. And so I don't know if they just figured, well, we'll have this next season, but that never happened.
Could have been. I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's a whole bunch of episodes in the middle there where that whorehouse lady could have been introduced earlier. No, Lori could have got on for a while, then not. I don't know.
You go back and watch the rest of them?
No.
The show was crap.
No, I'm not.
Generally, the show was crap. The opening sequence, oh my god, it was like Jesus, stupid. It was just horrid, and it stole music.
What was that song from?
It was from any western.
Well, I know I've heard it before. I definitely heard the music before. But I thought maybe that
Was
was
it Gunsmoke or the Waltons or something like that?
I thought maybe it was the theme from the Magnificent Seven movie, but I admittedly have not seen that, so I don't know.
Okay, that gives it at least a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hope for that because if it's not from that movie, then that stolen cowboy theme song just really annoyed me.
Dun, 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 dun. That's how it went.
That's right. Oh yeah, it's just the opening title sequence is just horrid. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that show.
All right. Well, the final entry on our list here is
Ending with a bang.
Bailey's Billions.
Oh, yeah.
Directed by David Devine, starring Dean Cain,
Dean Cain,
former
of
TV Superman.
Yep.
Jennifer Tilly, possibly most annoying person on earth. Tim Curry, a formerly great actor,
Oh,
and Rocky Horror Picture Show alum.
Yep.
John Lovitz as the voice of Bailey the dog,
Yeah.
and Lori Holden as Marge Mags.
Marge Mags.
That's a perfect name. It's a good name. So this movie, according to the IMDb, is about a sweet and savvy talking golden retriever. Bailey is one doggone lucky pooch when his devoted owner, Constance Pennington, leaves him her entire $1 billion fortune.
What a piece of junk this movie was.
Now wait a minute. Before you write this off,
It was a kid's movie.
a complete piece of crap. It was kind of a kid's movie. Like it might have been a 10-year-old kid movie. It wasn't really good for a 4-year-old kid, which I haven't. So I watched part of it.
Yep.
My 4-year-old kind of likes the talking dog, but
I didn't know that Bailey talked. Okay, and so I'm watching the movie, and then John Lovitz starts talking. Whoa, dog talks.
you didn't know you were going to a movie like this with a talking dog.
No, I didn't know the talking dog. I just thought it was a dog got a bunch of money, and then people were doing stuff around the money dog. But the money dog. I didn't know the dog talked. I didn't know that John Lovitz was going to be in it. I didn't read the description. You know what's going on. It was quite surprising.
Okay, well, before we talk about Laurie Holden, there's something funny that kind of happened at the beginning. This movie was oddly Canadian, first of all.
Well, yeah.
It takes place. It starts in Hamilton, Ontario.
It sure does.
And then most of the film takes place in Toronto. It shows Skyline. My house was in the movie, and that's not true. But it could have
It was like the opening sequence where the helicopter shot was coming in, zooming in on Toronto and Skydome and the CN Tower and went down to the Gardner. And so I was like going through a time portal because that doesn't look like that anymore. There's so many condos down there now.
It's true. The CN Tower's still there. The Skydome's still there, but it's called the Rogers Center now.
Yep.
And the Gardner's there, but it's falling apart. But you're right. All those condos, there's at least 50 high-rise condo buildings down there that weren't there when
The skyline's so different now.
kind of interesting to see. Now, that helicopter shot that opened the film, as you said, the helicopter came in over the lake. We saw the whole skyline. We went around close to the CN Tower, down across the dome, and sort of came in slowly along the Gardner Expressway, which is a raised highway there for anyone who doesn't know. And slowly the camera focused in on a limo that was driving, and then followed the limo as it drove along a bit, went off an off-ramp, and as it got to the end of the off-ramp, got away. I thought that was well staged. To fly a helicopter in from that distance, in single shot with no cuts, and find that driving car, and get right in close tight to it, and then follow it off the highway. I was impressed by
That was
that.
the single redeeming feature of this movie.
That's it. That's the single thing.
Well, other than the fact that the house of Tim Curry and Jennifer Tilly, when they were in the backyard, there was palm trees.
Was there?
Oh yeah, I was on
wondering-
a hill overlooking some kind of city that had like it was obviously Miami because there was like a bunch of water and then like a spit with a bunch of houses on it and it was like palm trees and stuff.
Well, I was wondering where that house was if it was shot anywhere here. I didn't notice palm trees for some reason. They could have shot a house somewhere up in Stowbridge or something.
Well, they overlooked the city. They overlooked the city. But obviously it was in Toronto and yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Some kind of magical portal from Toronto to Miami.
That's right. Anyways, about the beginning, so it starts in Hamilton, there, which is a small city.
City TV's there.
And City TV, which is our like local TV broadcaster, was there, in full force.
What's his name? He was very young.
No, I thought it was Gordon Martin.
I thought it was Gordon. He is Gordon Martin.
No, I had my wife who's the expert in all things celebrity. Or
Oh,
she never forgets
she's wrong in this case. It is that guy. I don't know. It might be Gordon Martin. He chairs the news. We call anchors the news, but there's another guy that does like the city on the street stuff.
I don't think it was him. I think it was an actor playing a City TV news anchor.
Oh, I think it was him.
All right,
we go back real right down here afterwards. We'll take a look back at Bailey's Billions.
Okay, so we spent way too much time in the beginning. So this movie is completely ridiculous. Like, I've seen a number of talking animal movies in my life, like Cats and Dogs, for example, which was okay. I thought that was pretty good, especially for kids. This movie was absolutely retarded.
Yeah, use the word. It was really, really bad.
Tim Curry, formerly well-respected great actor, is like, what's he doing? Throwing his career away doing shit like this.
The only thing this movie was stupid because he's throwing his career down the toilet too. And everybody in this movie, yeah, this is
John Lovitz, what can you expect? Jennifer Tilly, I don't know how she gets acting jobs because that woman's voice, it makes me want to claw my eyeballs out.
And all the parts were so over the top, right? Like her character was supposed to be so annoying, and Tim Curry was supposed to be this so conniving evil guy, and just so silly.
And Dean Cain is like the ultimate good guy.
Bumbling kind of the kind of bumbling nerdy guy that gets spruced up for his date.
You didn't laugh when he sees Laurie Holden across the room and he goes into a fantasy where they're running down the beach each other and he falls down on the beach. I laughed at
No,
that.
I didn't laugh.
Oh, and they're wearing angel wings for no apparent reason on the beach.
Yeah, no, I didn't
I
laugh.
laughed at that. Anyhow, Laurie Holden in this movie, I thought first of all looked really good. I think they made her up very well. She wore a lot of makeup. I thought she just looked really good in this movie.
I agree with that.
Not really a sort of natural kind of look like she would have in The Walking Dead, where she's not wearing like makeup other than TV makeup. But I thought she looked really good. And her part, I mean, it was the only part in the whole movie that wasn't like way over the top, like you said.
It was, yeah, and that's right. I agree with you there. Like she was very much supposed to be this kind of cutesy romantic leading lady kind of thing. I'm not sure that that's quite her bag either. It didn't feel genuine.
But she was better in this than Magnificent Seven, I think. I agree with you. This probably isn't the right thing. She was doing this to pay the bills or
I
whatever.
think she did a better job than Dean Cain. I think she did a better job than Tim Curry. I think she did a better job than Jennifer Tilly. I think she did a better job than John Lovitz.
Yeah.
Like she was, well, and I get the kids were annoying too. And female dog annoying into that. But
The dogs love
yeah,
it.
dogs love it. Yeah, I think as far as actors go, she's probably the best thing going in this movie. But I don't think this is quite, there's, the romantic leading lady things. I don't think it's her.
Okay, well, at the very least, at least she was in this.
She was in this from the beginning to the end.
She was hardly in the X-Files that we saw. She was hardly in Magnificent Seven. She was in this movie, that's for sure. And I don't think she was as bad as you seem to, but the whole movie was
I think
absolutely
she's bad. I just think this wasn't. I didn't feel like it was her thing, but then it might have been the directing of the acting, the entire script, the whole concept of the movie. How this thing got made.
well, it must have been direct to video or something, right? I don't imagine this movie was ever in theaters.
Yeah.
It was part a little bit slapstick, supposed to be romantic comedy. It was, I don't know, a little bit musical, I think. Talking Animal. It had all the ingredients that just don't come together very well. But I watched it start to finish. It took me 3 different things to get through the whole movie.
I yelled at the screen a couple times. I yelled at the half hour mark. I'm like, come on, hurry up and finish. And then I yelled at the 1 hour mark because I knew there was still half an hour left.
Well, I watched a half hour or so. Came back the next day. It was the weekend of that.
Oh, I should've done that.
And I came back the next day.
I would come back. I don't think if I stopped, I don't think I could brought myself to press play.
Yeah, no, I did because I got my 4-year-old daughter. Like, hey, do you want to see a talking and dog movie? And so we put that on and we got through another half hour before. I was like, you want to turn it off? She said, yeah. so that's it. And then I watched the end of it the next night. So I made it all the way through.
Good for you.
Anyhow, yeah. So there we go. I think our choices for Miss Holden here were poor.
I think that, okay, after watching all these things that Laurie Holden was in, I think that playing Andrea is the perfect role for her. I think this is going to be her breakout role. It's got to be.
Well, we didn't watch The Mist because we've seen that before, and she's good in The Mist. Now, The Mist is not entirely different thing than The Walking Dead.
Right.
Kind of the same thing, actually. And she was in The Majestic too, right?
I never saw The Majestic.
I saw The Majestic a long time ago. I think she's in
I
that.
saw The Mist, but I don't remember her in this.
Well, I mean, in hindsight, we should have watched The Mist in black and white instead of The Mist in color.
I watched it in black and white.
Yeah, I never saw black and
No,
white.
I watched black and white.
Right. Okay, well, we could have added The Mist to this. We didn't just really both seen it. So we went to Bailey's Billions, and there you go. I mean, you never get that time back. But you can now say that you watched Andrea in a talking dog movie that has billions of dollars.
Yep.
So there you have it. That is our actor spotlight on Laurie Holden. If we ever redo any of these, she'll be top on the list, unfortunately. So let's now to our next Walking Dead actor spotlight is going to be. As I said earlier, we're kind of gone through most of the primary cast now, so we're moving on to the supporting actors. The first one we're going to do is Andrew Rothenberg. He played Jim on Walking Dead.
Not Jimmy.
Not Jimmy. If you remember Jim, he's the one that gets bitten and left tied to a tree. Poor Jim.
Is he tied to a tree?
He was
left
by
by
a tree. He was tied to a tree for a while, and then they left him by a tree.
Right.
So Andrew has done a lot of TV. We're going to watch all TV, 4 different TV shows actually. We're going to watch Castle, season 2, episode 17, titled Tick Tick Tick.
Castle, good show.
I like Castle. We are going to watch True Blood, season 1, episode 7, Burning House of Love.
Also good show.
He was in that, plays Malcolm. Is that the character I said earlier? Sure. We're going to watch Weeds, season 4,
Also good show.
episode 1, called Mother Thinks the Birds Are After Her. Haven't seen any Weeds. This is the.
You should watch Weeds.
I might someday. I'm going to watch this one first.
Weeds is one of those shows that kind of starts and then takes a left turn and a big right turn and a big left turn, and it's in season 7 right now. It's not the same show that it was when it
Is it
started.
a half hour show or not? Half hour. Okay. And finally, we're going to watch Monk, season 5, episode 15, another show I've never seen an episode of. It's called, this one's called Mr. Monk and the Really, Really Dead Guy. Right. So that ties in zombies right there.
Well,
Amy
yeah.
Rothenberg plays the dead guy. I don't know.
Well, zombies aren't really, really dead though. They're only sort of dead.
No, they're definitely dead.
Well, they're dead. Yeah, they're not really dead.
I guess they're not. Well, sure they are. They don't get more dead than that.
Yes, they do. They body lying on the ground not doing nothing. It's dead as a zombie.
I suppose. Anyways, that's what we're going to watch for Andrew
They're not
Rothenberg.
undead. They're not dead. They're undead. They're not really, really dead.
We're coming undead being NXT name.
Well, I'm gonna let you get vampire. You got the basic Walking Dead. You got skeletons. You got your zombies.
Well, and then okay, that's 4.
Did I say lich?
Yeah, Lich, Vampire, Zombie, and Skeleton.
Ghoul.
That's pretty good.
Ghoul,
Undead.
Ghoul, yeah.
Time's up. It's not bad.
Well, and then it seems like Dracula, which is lich, but right.
That's
It's when you combine your super monsters.
do you know this because of D&D? Yes. All right then. There you go, everybody. If you have any other entries to add to our list of Walking Dead monsters, call
Or
them
creatures.
Undead creatures. That's a good way of saying it. There you go. Jason can name 5. If you can name more than that, then you name 6 times.
Well, there's 2 categories of undead.
No, not.
Yes, there is. Okay, you have something like a vampire is an undead creature that still has its soul, right? It's still in possession of its own soul, lives the same kind of thing. Where you have skeletons and zombies are undead, they no longer have a soul, they're just walking automaton kind of things, right? So you have two different categories of undead. There's one with souls and one without, and one with souls control one without. So you have your vampires very, very different from your zombie. Right? Zombies just mindless thing going around trying to eat things. Vampires are very mindful and weird and they're going around trying to eat things.
Werewolves are not undead, right?
No, they're not.
They're living. Okay.
They have lycanthropy.
Right. Okay.
Or lycanthropy.
If you can name, or if you have any more information than that on the nature of the undead, please give us a call at 1-866-433-ZOMB. That's 1-866-433-9662. You can also email us at talkingdeadpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/talkingdead or Twitter at talkingdead. Those are all good ways to get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from anyone who has anything to say about anything we talk about, or if you have questions, comments, or anything like that, send them our way. Now, before we go, I do have one bit of listener feedback that kind of relates to some news that we got, well, it could have been in the news section, but it's something we talked about last week. And this is from Grant in Vancouver once again. And he said, on the latest episode, I heard you talking about The Walking Dead: Rise of the Governor novel. And I remember when you guys asked me if it would be an audiobook version. Well, I was also curious about this myself, he says. So I emailed the publisher a couple of weeks ago. Samantha Bierman, the digital marketing and content associate from Macmillan Books, emailed me back and said this: Hi Grant, your inquiry about The Walking Dead was forwarded to me. We will in fact be releasing an audiobook edition on the same day the book goes on sale.
That's nice.
So there you go. Thank you, Samantha Bierman, and thank you, Grant in Vancouver, for writing in. I look forward to this, and this is going to be an Audible selection for me, I think.
Oh, good.
So there you go. Audible comes through for all your Walking Dead: Rise of the Governor needs.
How about that? How many of those needs do you have?
Well, at least 3, because it's going to be a trilogy.
There you go.
So exciting that it'll be on the first day, and we can all listen to it and have a merry old time.
Go.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with episode number 53.
Bye.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/talkingdead. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, computer, or MP3 player. Hello, my